Do we find a plot of land and allow a tent village? Or fundraise to raise the liability insurance to cover that possible situation? Or do we find an empty building, rent it, and hire a security team to watch over those living there? Fundraise and pay the liability insurance to cover any possible litigation? As our homeless numbers increased from 2008 through today, and now we're at 1,217 as of the 2014 count, and we know that it's gone up. Lots of new faces. What do? Before the homeless shelter is built, which is called the Compass Center, which stands for Community Outreach of McMinnville Positive Action Sharing Sanctuary, which was a couple years downstream. What do we do in the interim period to help those that are in need? That's what we're here today to discuss. So I thank every one of you for being here and taking the time about this issue. We thank every one of you for coming and participating in many ways, whether it be the evaluation we're about to do, or whether it be becoming involved and continuing on these discussions. And if you want to be involved in that, it's part of the curriculum for today. At the very end of the handout sheets is some information that you can give us, whether you want to be involved continuing on from here. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the interim pastor of First Baptist Church, Michael Saylor. Michael.
And thanks all of you again for being here. We appreciate your time and your interest in this issue. And what I would like to do is give you a little bit of an outline of how we would like to proceed. As you can see, we're already crowded in, and that's a good thing and a challenge. So the purpose of our coming together, as Holly mentioned, is to have a conversation together about not only our feelings toward the homeless population, but also to start giving some consideration to what our priorities are and what resources we have as a community, as a county, as churches and other groups to begin to address some of these issues. So I did give you a sheet of kind of a plan for the day, and if you would take a look at that for a moment, you'll notice that there are some guidelines as we begin to discuss things together. And let me just read those for you. That we're going to ask that you speak for yourself personally and not as a representative of a group. Also, that you avoid attributing motives or beliefs to other people. We want this to be a time when you can speak openly and honestly. You don't have to worry about somebody putting you down or belittling you for your opinion. Your purpose is not to convince anybody of anything. It's just to share your insights and your background and your feelings as we go through the time together. Honor each other's right to pass if they don't want to say anything, and let others finish before you begin to speak, unless they start to take up the whole time, and then you can step on their foot.
Next.
So if you would share airtime with one another, stay on topic, and call people and groups by the names that they prefer. I think most of you have name tags, so that's a good one. Would you raise your hand if you were contacted about being a scribe? One.
That's the one.
Okay, we'll do this one a little bit differently then. I know transitions aren't easy, and I trust that you're better than 8th graders at this. So what I would like for you to do is to have every other row beginning with the first row, okay, beginning with the first row, to turn your chairs a little bit so that you can be in groups of 4 or 5 people. Okay, if you would do that now so that you can divide up, so you have 4 or 5 people in your group that you can talk to.